Hi, I'm James Ashford, and this is the secret to getting your clients to behave as you want them to. Because in your accountancy firm, if you could just get your clients doing what you wanted them to do, when you wanted them to do it, in the way that you wanted them to do it, and to be happy, and to pay you what you want to be paid, then all of your problems would be solved. Am I right? So what this talks about is everything that we've learned in the accountancy firm that I'm a director of, which is my accountancy place, and how we've implemented those lessons, those strategies, those systems into other accountancy firms here in the UK and around the world as well to great success. So what I want to do is share those lessons with you right now so you can take them and implement those strategies and those ideas into your firm as well. So anything that I share with you like this, there's always two components to it. The first is the map. You have to have the right map in place that's going to take you from where you are now to where you want to be. The exact blueprint for how to do it. There's no point in you trying to figure out how to do it because it's just going to take you too long, cost you too much money, take you too much time, too much frustration, and that's when you start to feel overwhelmed. The easiest way to go from where you are now to where you want to be is simply to find somebody who's already done it. To find somebody who's achieving the results that you want to achieve and to model their behavior. That's the fastest route to success. So having the map is really important, but the second part to it as well is also having the correct mindset. Because if your mindset doesn't align with the map, it's never going to work. If you don't believe that this is going to work for you, if you don't believe that you're going to achieve the same results in the same way, you're never going to fully buy into it, and therefore you're never going to go on that journey in the first place. And mindset is critical for this to work. And it might not just be your mindset, but it might be the mindset of your team. It might be the mindset of your managers. It could be the mindset of other directors in your firm. I know that from the accounting firms that I work with, typically when they've got 1 to 4 directors, it's not a problem because you can make decisions very quickly and you can move fairly fast. But when you start to get 10, 20, 30 directors, obviously then you start to hit some more challenges. But actually, that said, I also encounter accountancy firms that have 2 directors, one gets it, the other one doesn't. And that can be a real challenge. So mindset is really important and really for something for you to be aware of and to challenge people on that as well. So what I want to explain to you is that this is the turning point for me when I work with accountants. This is the one that snaps them out of their thinking. You are not an accountant, you are a business owner. And the moment you can start to think like a business owner, act like a business owner, is the moment that you align yourselves with your clients, and your clients will resonate with you in a far deeper, more meaningful way. And that's when we start to build more lasting, more meaningful relationships, and when we start to maximize the lifetime value of those clients as well. So you are not an accountant, you're a business owner. But most accountants don't have a business, they actually have chaos. And until you have a business, you're unable to spend time on what's important, and you'll forever be dragged into what's not important. While you're in chaos, you will always have these type of challenges. So you will have clients taking up your time and energy who are not paying you enough for the hard work that you do and for the value of service that you provide them with. You'll be dancing to their tune. How frustrating is that? You're the expert, you know what to do, right? Yet you have clients who want to do things in their own way because they believe they know best. But you're providing the finance function for their business. There's no more important function of their business. If they get it wrong, they're going to fail, but they still want to be in control. They still want to reconcile their accounts whenever they want to reconcile it. They don't care if their monthly management accounts are like 2 months late because they're just not going to give you the information that you need. They're not going to play ball, and that can cause you real problems. This ends up you becoming really frustrated with them, which is understandable because they're not paying you enough, not doing as you want them to do, not valuing your service. But here's the kicker. They're frustrated with you too. What's the deal with that? They're frustrated with you. You're bending over backwards for them, doing everything that you can for them. They're not giving you enough money, and they're frustrated with you. Well, there's actually a reason for that, and later on in the talk, I'm going to explain how you can completely flip that. I know there's a lot of talk about that you should, with these type of clients, you should get rid of them. And maybe there's some, the ones that are a real pain in the backside, maybe you should get rid of those. But I can also show you a way to flip some of those clients round, have them eating out of your hand, and have them behaving as you want, paying you what you deserve as well, for you providing a far greater value of service. So we have a real challenge with clients. But that's not the only problem. We also have a challenge with your staff. So you have staff who are doing things in their own way. They're not sticking to your systems and processes which you've implemented. Accountants like yourself are systems orientated. You think in a systematic way, you think in a systemized way. That's what makes you a great accountant. That's what also gives you the great potential to become a fantastic business owner if you can be shown how to take that systemized, systematic thinking and apply it to key business processes as well. The problem that you face, as you'll know, is that you were taught how to be an accountant. You weren't taught how to become a successful business owner. You've kind of had to figure that out for yourself as you go along. And every business owner on the planet is winging it, I assure you. Richard Branson's winging it. He's just winging it better than the rest of us, right? So we're all winging it to an extent. So typically what ends up happening is you have these highly paid, highly skilled accountants wasting their time on low-level tasks, such as chasing clients to reconcile their accounts and things like this, where automation and client coordinators could do that job. And so we have all these account managers, like accountants, FD level accountants, FC level accountants running around doing things that they really shouldn't be doing. So at this point, you don't actually have a business, you have a bunch of consultants. You think you have a business because you put systems in, but because every single member of staff wants to do things in their own way with all different types of clients, you actually just have a bunch of consultants running around doing their own thing. And this is really the start of all the chaos as well. So this leaves you very vulnerable because what you don't have is members of staff running systems. You have people doing their own things, and therefore if a member of staff were to leave, you can't easily replace them. Now, I'm not saying a member of staff's a commodity that's easily replaceable, and nor would you want them to be. We don't want robots running your business. You want incredible people who can think for themselves and do all this amazing stuff as well, but they still need to follow the fundamental processes, the fundamental systems within the business. But because they don't at all, that leaves us really vulnerable. And they know it. They know you're vulnerable. And so what that means is that they kind of get away with more than you'd like them to get away with, and you let them get away with that because you really don't want to lose them. But it's all because we don't run systems. Now, because you're systemized in the way that you're thinking, accountants are systems orientated, then you will have attempted to implement systems and you've been sold systems that you thought were going to solve the problems. I'm going to explain to you why they don't, why you think they are doing, but really where the real problems are and why you actually feel overwhelmed and frustrated despite the fact that you have what you think are systems in place. And I'll show you why that actually happens as well. But also, by implementation, what I mean is you don't just implement a system and leave it and let it work. Implementation of a system is to put a system in, check it, refine it, improve it, make changes, watch it, test it, refine it, make changes, watch it, test it, refine it, make changes, and continually do that forevermore. You can never ever stop doing that. And sometimes people implement a system and stand back and think it's going to work. The reality is very few systems work when you first implement them. They need that constant attention, that constant evolution. We always need to be getting better. We're not looking for perfection, we're just looking for progress. And as long as you're making slow but steady progress every day or every single week, then that's how we can really make improvements in your business, because those improvements compound, and that's when you start to see exponential growth in your business. So until you have systems, you always end up with your clients being in control and your staff are still in control because your systems are not in control. So that's why you still have chaos and not a business. This is where all of the frustration comes from. Staff, clients, and the systems not working as you want them to. Does this make sense? Does this kind of resonate with you? I'm not just making this up. I see this in every firm I go and work with. I see this in the firms that I implement systems in. I saw this in my accountancy place when I first started working with those like 18 months ago. We've resolved all that now, but I know the pain. And it's the same. Don't feel bad about it. It's not actually your fault. You were never shown how to do this. You've had to figure this out for yourself and do the best with what you've got. So I'm not blaming you for this. But this isn't why you became an accountant. You became an accountant because you wanted to impact your clients on the highest level that you could. You wanted to help their business to grow, to help them to grow more sustainably, more profitably, make sure they can sleep better at night so they can make better decisions about the future with the information that you've given them from the past. That's what you actually want to do as an accountant fulfilling the finance function in these businesses. That's what you really want to do, and that's what you want to help and leverage your team to do as well. So very briefly, I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is James Ashford. I'm the founder of GoProposal, which is a pricing and proposal system for accountants. I'm also the director, as I said, at my accountancy place in Manchester. And if you want to hook up with me and say hi, just check me out at the James Ashford, either on Twitter, Facebook or YouTube, or go check out my website, jamesashford.com. I provide loads of free content on there. You can watch my videos, get my blogs, get my podcast, whatever it is that you want. I just publish so much content, so much material from the front line of what's working in some of the most successful, profitable accounting firms here in the UK and around the world as well. So just go and grab that information. It's there, it's yours, just go and take it. So this is my family, these are my children, this is my wife, and the reason I show this picture is because this is why we do what we do. Yes, you want to help your clients, yes, you want to serve them better, yes, you want to grow teams, grow our business, make cash, all that type of thing. But the fundamental reason why we systemize and why we try to automate our business and get it running without us is so that we can spend more time with the people that we love doing the things that we love. This is really important that we keep this in mind when we're making improvements to your business. You know, my youngest two there are 6 and 7 next week. Wow. Scarlett's 6 in like 3 days time, right? So in what, 7, 8 years time, they're going to be off with their teenage friends, not so bothered about dad. So I've only got a few small, precious years with them while they're this age, while they want to spend time with me and do things. And so it's really important that we don't try and systemize and automate and get our business running without us at some point in the future. We want it happening now, today, because this can happen super, super fast, far quicker than you think if you're modeling someone's behavior already, and if you just come and kind of airlift and airdrop those systems and processes into your business as well. So you can actually achieve these results very, very fast. Now, I became really systems orientated when I set my first business up, which was a marketing company, and a business coach handed me a book called E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber, which talks about the franchisable model. How can we put systems in our business that make it run without us so we can actually replicate that business? What the book fails to do is actually tell you what those systems are, how to implement them, and how to implement them effectively. But it really outlines what you should be doing, and it's a really great book if you've not read that. What I've since done, since that business, is work with over 100 different businesses of all different sizes, helping them to implement systems into their businesses. One of the ones that I've had probably the most success with is the Mini Kicks franchise. We systemized and automated the original business to such an extent that we're very easily able to franchise that business out. We started by getting the pricing model right and the payment collection right. We systemized and grew from there, and we took it from about a £75,000 revenue a year to £750,000 revenue within the space of 3 years, with a very small team, but we had systems running it effectively with a really robust payment and pricing strategy in there as well. And we've got to 12 franchisees now. We'll be at 20 by the end of the year and 100 in the next 2 years. And we're also looking at America and Ireland to take that franchise to as well. Really exciting, and it runs without the business owner in such a short space of time. I then met my accounting place, Paul Barnes at my accounting place. He was really excited by what he'd seen that I'd done with these systems in other businesses, and he wanted to break out of this mindset and stop thinking about his firm like an accountancy firm. Because what the danger is that all accountants look to other accountants to say, how are you doing it? How are you doing it? The problem is most of them are doing it really badly. So what you end up doing is you end up doing it not quite as badly as them, because you make improvements as you bring it into your business, right? What Paul wanted to do, very wisely, was to look outside of the accounting industry, look to other businesses, world-class businesses, profitable, successful, thriving businesses, and bring all of that knowledge and that expertise into the accounting industry, into my accounting place. And that's what we've done over the last 18 months. So the great news for you is I'm not an accountant. I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I'm from the world of business. I work with businesses, and I'm actually on the other side of the fence to accountants. And one of the things I really encourage accountants to do is to stop thinking like an accountant and start to think like a business owner, and to stop looking like you're on this side of the fence and your client's on this side of the fence, and actually to stand shoulder to shoulder with them as business owners looking forward together, because you'll make far better decisions with them and you'll really help them and have a genuine partnership with them moving forward. So, you with me so far? We're following this, you're excited. I'm going to give you some real key strategies that you can take away from this as well. So we're going to really get into it now. So you need a business that runs on systems, and your team needs to run the systems. So let me show you how systems are normally created in accounting firms. So the way they're normally created is with a firefighter approach. So a fire flares up and you go and put it out. So you start your business, and then you get your first client, and you quickly realize that you need a letter of engagement, right? So you go and grab a letter of engagement from whoever you're with, the ACCA or ICAW or ICAW, whatever, whoever you're with, and you go and grab that and you put it in place. And then another fire starts to rage because now you need to realize that you need to onboard that client, which is okay whilst just you're doing it. But then as you start to get more and more clients coming in and more staff, you realize that you need to put systems in place to deal with that so you can have consistency and growth and scalability. And a system can be as simple as a checklist, right? Or you might have something more complex, something automated, software to do it, whatever it is that you choose to do. Then another fire rages because now we realize that we need to price because you've probably started to price incorrectly and you've got some clients who pay you very little but you do a lot of work for, and other clients who pay you a fortune you don't do that much for, and you recognize very quickly that you have inconsistencies. And so you start to address your pricing system, start to look at where you're losing money and start to have consistency there as well. Then once you've done the pricing, you need to produce a proposal to get the client to agree to it, because this is where you're going to explain how you're going to give the value to the client for the value that they're going to pay you in return. And then you start to get more leads. You do networking events and you have a website and you maybe do social media marketing and various other things. And so you start to get more leads coming into your business. And then some of those leads start to drop on the floor and you drop the ball with some of them. So you realize you need a way of capturing them. And so you set up a CRM system or a database or a very simple way of collecting the contacts. And then you really realize you start dropping the ball with some of those. You forget to ring some of them back, or you might not forget, but a member of staff does. So you now need some reminder system in a calendar or a diary. And then you get in touch with them, and then you have to set a meeting with them, and then so you have the meeting, so you can produce the proposal, etc., etc. And then at some point you realize, crap, we've not got enough clients, right? So you look at all the letters of engagement that you've got out, and then because this fire starts to rage, and there you start to do some follow-up with those. So you start to contact them, and you start to chase some of them down, and you might have lost some of them because you've not contacted them for long enough, and eventually, you build all of this flow to try and get your clients into what we would call the value systems. The value systems are where you deliver your value, deliver your service, receive money from the clients, which your finance systems, your delivery systems, and also your staffing systems as well, because you obviously need staff in order to be able to deliver that value. So we create this flow, this client journey, and the problem happens when you start to get leaks. When you produce the letter of engagement but you're not followed up with them quick enough, or you've not followed up with them for long enough. And then you maybe get a client that you onboard but you don't onboard them in the right way. And I assure you, you can lose clients at the point of onboarding. If you've got everything else right but you mess up the onboarding piece, you can still lose them at that point, even if they've signed your letter of engagement. And then you get some leads that you don't capture. You come from a networking event, you come with a stack of business cards, you don't follow up with anybody diligently enough, or you don't record their details. And then you don't follow up, like I say, and so you start to lose them there. Did you know that once you've captured someone's details via a website or via a message, you have 5 minutes to respond, 5 minutes to reply to that person, which can actually be done. And then maybe you don't follow up for long enough. Did you know that 80% of meetings would happen, or sign-ups would happen on the between 5 and 12 points of contact with that client? 5 to 12 points of contact is what is needed for that client to sign up. Only 10% follow up more than 3 times, because in their head they think, oh, they're not interested anymore. They are interested. They've just got busy lives. They've got other things to do. So because you don't follow up with them for long enough, you're therefore not able to win them as a client. You're therefore not able to serve them. And then that client goes wanting and will end up with a firm who's not as good as you, I'm sure. And so we need to make sure we have robust follow-up systems in place. And then maybe you don't set the meeting, or you don't remind them to turn up to the meeting, and so they don't turn up, and you miss some of those as well. And then you've got leaks in your pricing system, and then you agree the price, but you don't get the proposal back fast enough, right? It might take you 2-3 days to get that proposal back because Amy only works Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and you had the meeting late on a Monday, so it's been 2 days now till they've got the proposal, and there's been a backlog, and in that time they've signed up to another accountant, okay? And then again, you don't follow up long enough with that client after you've signed the letter of engagement. We've just signed a client at my accounting place, and we followed up with them after producing a letter of engagement for 12 months. 12 months of follow-up, And then when we sign that client, they're a £1,500 a month client, which is £18,000 a year, over 10 years, £180,000 at least. And that doesn't include all the referrals, all the additional work that we're going to be doing for them as well. They could be worth £250,000 to us, that one client. So of course they're worth us following up with them for a year, 2 years, 3 years. We have 3-year follow-up processes in place, and we don't pester the client, we just build value during that time up until the point when they sign up. And so what ends up happening is the fires are out, but you're there drowning, desperately trying to paddle, keeping your head above water, feeling very overwhelmed because you have chaos in the business. And so what typically then happens is you then improve some of the systems. So you go and improve the capture system and do split testing and different emails that go out and all this really cool funky stuff. Or you have this really cool snazzy, I've not used the word snazzy for a while, snazzy letter of engagement system that has dashboards and widgets and reports and bells and whistles and all this other stuff. But the problem is although we're improving these little aspects of the systems, we're not sealing the cracks in the process. So you still don't actually have a business, and then it gets worse because then we throw people into the mix, we throw your staff into the mix, we throw your clients into the mix as well. And when you get all these different people, all these different staff doing things in their own way with these broken systems, with clients who want to do things in their own way as well, you can see why you end up in complete chaos. And it's really unfair to you because you're the person who's built this. You're the person who's done this because you want to give value, you want to provide jobs, you want to help clients, you want to grow something that can help your family. You've implemented systems, you've done your very best with everything so far. So it feels very unfair that you've got all this chaos when you're just trying to run a business. And you're probably at a breaking point. You're probably trying to break through now to that next level where you can get paid more, where you can free up your time, where you can give more value, where you can start giving more advice and doing the advisory piece for clients. And you're hitting this breaking point. And when you hit a breaking point, you've got a couple of options. One is you can break away. You can break down is one option. One is you can break away and think, stuff this, I'm off to get a job, which that thought will have crossed your mind. And then you quickly chuck it out of your mind because you realize that you're completely unemployable now and that would never work anyway. So you realize you're going to stick with what you're doing. So you decide you're going to break through. And if you break through, you've got two options. One is you're just going to figure it out for yourself, which is fine. But the problem with that is it might take you a year, 2, 3 years time, all the while other firms are passing you. All the while you're very frustrated, all the while you're not spending time with the people that you should be spending time with. Or the alternative option is what I explained before, you model someone's behavior that's already achieving the results that you want to achieve. That's the fastest way to smash through the breaking point and to get to the next level, whatever that is for you. Whether you're trying to get to £500,000 or you're trying to break through the £1 million barrier or you're already turning over a few million and you want to break through that. Wherever you are now, or you're growing your team, whatever it is, we help different clients of different sizes, whether you're an army of 1 or whether you've got a team of 4 or a team of 12, a team of 50, wherever you are, they're the different types of clients that we help. So let me show you a different model for this. Does that feel right, by the way? Can you kind of resonate with that? Is there some truth there and you're thinking, yeah? And because if that's the case, then it kind of maybe for the first time explains to you why you feel like you feel, despite the fact that you've got all these systems in place, yeah? Okay, here we go. So as I said before, this is not your fault. It's not even the system's fault. Very, very often people blame the systems, but it's not that. It's because you didn't have a plan in place in the first place. It's because you didn't have what we would class as a watertight system that mapped out the journey from start to finish. So this is the key process that you need in your firm, and it's called the client creation systems. It takes a lead coming in and it takes them right through to being onboarded to the point where you can start delivering your service. And let me explain why this is so key. And this is probably something that you've never been told before, you've never been heard of it before. Very few people are aware of this. Very few people are aware that you can even achieve this. And we're talking like 0.001% of accountants are even aware of this, let alone actually know how to implement it, right? So this is the key system, because the reason why you have clients behaving as they want to behave is because you've never told them how to behave. You've never said, you know what, if you want to play with us at our game, then it is our game, it's our rules, and you're going to stick to them. Let me show you the rules. Let me show you the rules of how you're going to work with us. Let me show you what makes a great client so that we can give you the most value. I'm also going to tell you what makes a terrible client, because we actually remove them from our firm. We won't stay working with them. So if you want to work with us, let me show you how to behave. Now, you might think that's daunting, but you know what? If you can't control the client and control their behavior, what chance do you have of controlling their finances? So it's really, really key. And as a client, from looking at it from the other side, I assure you, we feel far safer, far happier, far more confident when you've got someone telling you what to do and saying you have to do this, and you're gonna do it this way. But if you want to get me behaving as you want me to behave, that all starts before I became a client, right? Because if you don't take control of me at that point, you've got no chance of controlling me when I actually become a client, okay? So we control the entire process. We capture the leads on the website. We respond within 2 minutes via an automated response. We get them to schedule an appointment in our diary straight away at a time that best suits them. We then schedule a discovery call with one of our client coordinators, which is a 15-minute call where we vet them and we qualify them with a series of 4 questions. But before that call, they have to have answered 3 questions before it and watched a video. And if they don't watch the video or answer the questions, we then say, hey, do you know what? Let's reschedule. We'll reschedule the meeting, because you know, if you've not answered those questions or watched the video, it's probably going to be a bit of a waste of time us talking. So when do you want to reschedule your appointment? We take control then, at that point there. Once we have the discovery call, if that's a success, we then schedule the proposal meeting. And again, they have a video to watch. Now it's a 20-minute video, a longer video. And the way we position this is to say, in the meeting, we don't want to waste your time by talking about us. We want to give you value and really help you with your business. So in order for us to be able to do that, the bit that we normally talk about ourselves in, we'd like you to watch that now. So we're going to take that piece out so you can understand who we are, why we do what we do, what our beliefs are, how we can help you, and what to expect from the meeting, okay? So we send that out beforehand. The day before the meeting, we send another video to them. I love videos saying, this is where you're going to be coming tomorrow. So it's like a handheld camera. This is the door you're going to be knocking on. This is the bell you're going to press. We're going to buzz you in. This is going to be Amanda on reception. You're going to say hi to Amanda. Then, hi team, here's the rest of the team. We're going to take you through to the meeting room. This is how the meeting is going to be conducted. This is the order of the agenda. At the end of the meeting, we're going to produce a proposal. You'll be able to sign that proposal there and then if you want to. So please bring any decision makers along to the meeting. If you don't want to sign it there and then, no problem. There's no pressure. You can take that away with you and take as long as you want to make a decision about it. So we take complete control and we explain exactly what's going to happen. Can you just feel the difference that would make in your clients? Could you just feel how confident the confidence that you would have knowing if your client was moving through that process? And it might seem daunting to do that, but it's actually relatively straightforward. We do it, we just turn in, we airlift the system in, we just drop it straight in because we've done it with all the videos and everything else as well, and we show you how to create your other videos for you. So it's actually a relatively straightforward process, again, if you're copying someone who's already doing it. And so that's what we do. But that's another talk for another time. So then we have to price. The pricing system is the most fundamental, foundational, most important system in your entire business, bar none. It's where you take complete control of the relationship, complete control of the client. And if you get this wrong, you mess up everything else at this point. This is why we have it at this part of the system, because it's where all the leakage occurs. We then need to be able to produce a proposal, a letter of engagement instantly while we're with the clients. They can sign up. And then we need diligent follow-up processes that last for at least 3 years in our case, but certainly for 12 months, an absolute minimum of 12 months, because they might choose to stay with their existing accountant. But then as that cycle comes back round, we need to catch them in 12 months' time again, because probably nothing will have changed in their business. The onboarding process then needs to be super, super slick, completely wowing the client as we transition them to the point where we can deliver the service. So that's the client creation systems that's really key and that you actually need in your business, with no cracks. It needs to be watertight. Does that make sense? You need a watertight system. And I'm sure just by looking at that, you can kind of feel a sense of confidence about it, right? Okay. Now, the thinking that has gotten you to where you are now is not going to get you to where you want to be. Everything you've done up to this point is fine. I mean, look, I'm not knocking you. You've done brilliantly. You've set up a business, you've employed staff, you've got clients, you've delivered value by hook or by crook, you've got through it and you just made it work, right? So really well done for what you've achieved so far. But if you are wanting to break through and move to the next level, and it might be that you don't even want to grow, you don't want to grow the size of your firm, you just want to increase the value you're giving to your clients, right? Or improve the quality of your service. Whatever it is that you want to move forward with, the thinking that's got you to this point is not going to get you to where you want to be. This is why mindset is key, and we have to make some adjustments in that process as well. So you need watertight systems to enable you to move forward and to remove the chaos and the overwhelm. And the first system you need to nail is the pricing system, because when we look at accounting firms, they always have leaks here. They always are losing money, and not only are they leaking profits, but they're losing control, because it's the pricing system where you agree the value that you're going to give to the client in return for the money that they're going to pay for you, that they're going to pay for it. And if during this agreement they say, well, can't you do this for us? Or can't we do that? Or, yeah, my record keeping's poor, but I want you to do it in this way anyway and still charge me this price. It's in them little small decisions where you lose control of everything. You lose control of the client. And also, if you don't have a pricing system that enables your team to be able to price, and it's just you doing it or 2 or 3 people doing it in your firm, again, you'll lose control. You need to be able to leverage your entire team and have everyone in your business very easily, quickly, logically pricing clients and upselling them as well. Because that entire system, by the way, let's go back. This entire system here doesn't just apply to prospects and new clients. This system applies to existing clients as well. Existing clients become leads for new services. We need to capture their interest, we need to follow up with them, set meetings, price, propose, letters of engagement, follow up, and then onboard them into those new systems. So that is actually where you'd get far greater value from having that system by applying the same logic to existing clients as well, okay? So that's really key. So this is why it's so fundamentally important that we nail the pricing system and we have it completely watertight. And as a client, I assure you, I want you to be profitable. I want you to be successful in the way that you price. I want you to be charging me for everything. At my accounting place, we're very successful in the way that we do this. We're very profitable. We've grown our firm by 20% just in the last quarter. Half from new clients, half of that is from existing clients, all because of our robust watertight pricing system that we have in place. But as a client, I want you to be doing it in that way because I want you to help me to do it in that way as well. I want to have the confidence in you that you know how a business should be priced, how you should be charging, how you should be helping businesses to make a profit. Does that make sense? And not only that, the other fundamental reason why you absolutely have to nail this is because you're an accountant. Yeah? So if there's one thing you have to get right, if there's one system that you have to get right, it's your pricing system. It's the most important fundamental system and if you've not nailed this, again, it's never going to work. Nothing's going to work in the business. And very often you might be trying to solve a problem over here, but the problem actually started over here. That's just a symptom of something that started in the pricing system. So this is why we absolutely nail it. And if you get it right, I assure you can be doubling, tripling, and quadrupling fees with existing clients very easily and very logically, very quickly as well, if you copy what other accountants are doing. So we don't want to lose profits. We don't want to lose control. If you don't have a consistent, structured, watertight pricing system, which everybody uses in exactly the same way, every single time, then you end up with clients who you're overserving, who you're getting too little money from, who take your energy, your time, and who you become frustrated with. Fact. But here's the kicker. You allowed it to happen. You allowed that client to become a bad client because you didn't take control of them. And check this next phrase out. It's so, so important. What if they're only a terrible client because they're not spending enough money with you? What if they're only a terrible client because they're not spending enough with you? My previous accountant, I was paying him £150 a month and he wanted to upsell me to a £250 a month service, but I couldn't see the value in that and I was a pain in the backside for him. So I moved to my accounting place, which is when I first met them, and I started spending £550 a month with them. And I am not a pain in the backside because they now deliver a set of services that make sure I'm not a pain in the backside because they actually bothered to ask me what I wanted to achieve, what was holding me up, and how they could best serve me. They were the questions that they asked me. I've now got 2 businesses with them. I'm paying them £1,000 a month for those 2 businesses, but I know that my previous accountant is still telling himself and his staff that, well, I'm glad we got rid of James because he was a pain in the backside. He didn't pay enough. He didn't value our service. Not always the case. That's why it's really key that we go back to our existing clients and get them paying us more rather than just kicking them out the door, as you may have been told. So the way that we help accountants to absolutely nail this really fast is with GoProposal. So GoProposal is the pricing system that was developed in my accountancy place to solve the challenges that we had there. And since then, other accountants have seen what we're doing and have wanted it, right? So it enables an accountant to agree fees very easily and very logically with clients. It helps you to leverage your entire team and getting everybody doing this because it's so easy to do. It generates the proposal and generates the letter of engagement automatically and gets the client to sign it off and triggers off the invoicing into Xero or QuickBooks, whatever it is that you use, and all of that happens within 3 minutes. This enables you to carry out fee reviews very, very frequently and to be able to get clients signed up very quickly as well. We needed that because we were on the front line working with clients, dealing with prospects all the time, and so we needed a tool that served us in that way, and there wasn't anything on the market. We were using what were market leading things at the time. One of them did the sales piece, one of them did a pricing piece, one of them did the letter of engagement, but there were cracks in between the systems, and that's where we were losing loads and loads of money and losing loads of control, and that's why we needed a system that mapped all that out. So what we're able to do is agree the fees with the clients very logically, send them an instant email with the letter of engagement and the proposal, which lands in their inbox for them to go through, and then they can sign it off instantly, and then that moves them into your onboarding system, whatever that may look like. So in the entire client creation systems, we nail the price, nail the proposal, nail the letter of engagement, all within 3 minutes whilst we sat with that client, which makes us take control of them. They know they're dealing with a proper business when they come to us. They know that we're in control because they're going to be paying what they should be paying for the services that they actually need to help them to achieve their goals, overcome their obstacles, and move at the speed they want to achieve so they can get the results they want much faster. And they know that when they've been through a proposal meeting with us. So let's recap. You are not an accountant, you're a business owner, but most accountants don't have a business, they have chaos. And until you have a business, you're unable to spend time on what's important, and you'll be forever dragged into what's not important because your staff and your clients will be in control. This is why we do what we do. We do it for our families. We do it so we can spend more time doing the things that we love with the people that we love, because time is short. We don't know how much time we have with these people, with our families, before they grow up or they go or whatever. And so we don't want to put that off. We don't want to delay it and say, we'll do it when I retire, we'll do it in 5 years, 10 years. You want to be doing this now because this is actually achievable now. Why not take control now? If now isn't the right time, tell me when is. If this isn't the right way, tell me what is. But if it is and now is the right time, then let's take control and let's absolutely get this nailed as fast as you can. Now, I want you to take action from this, not just ideas. You'll take these ideas back to your team, and no doubt you've had an entertaining 45 minutes or whatever it's been, and you've got some notes and things like that that you think you can go and implement, which is brilliant. But the most important thing now is to take action, otherwise nothing will change. You will leave this video, you will go back to your emails, go back to those voicemails, start dealing with crap from clients and dealing with crap from staff, and nothing will actually change. Just take one step forward, make one change, make one phone call, sign up for GoProposal, do whatever it is that's going to start moving you forward, because that one step will build momentum. While you're in this mindset, while you believe that if you believe this is the right way to go, then take the step now, because I assure you, if you leave it now and you go back to what you're doing, or you go to bed and you wake up in the morning, it'll all be gone. It'll gone out of your head. I was taught this by Tony Robbins, that whenever you're in the mindset, whenever you're in the mindset of making change and taking action, take the first step whilst you're there. Do it. Ping me an email, connect with me on Twitter, whatever it is. Just do something right now to get you moving forward. The best way that I can help you for free is with a free report that I've got, which is the 7 pricing strategies of the most profitable accountants. I'm very fortunate that I work with some of the most successful, profitable, entrepreneurial thinking accountants here in the UK and around the world. And we take all of their best strategies, we drop them into GoProposal so that when somebody signs up for GoProposal, they actually get all of the pricing from all of those other accountants fully loaded into it for you to edit and amend and take out and add your own in there as well. But it's a fantastic starting point with a watertight pricing system, so you don't have to build it from the ground up, which is always a pain with these type of systems, right? But if you don't want GoProposal, that's fine. Let me just help you with what those strategies are. So in this free report, I will show you how to price more profitably, end the chaos, and serve your clients better. Some of these ideas there are mine, but some of them are from the wonderful, wonderful accountants. You'd know many of them who have contributed to this as well and who are already running profitable, successful businesses. They are probably already achieving some of the results that you want to achieve. So let me just share those with you so you can take them and implement them into your firm as well. So if you want to go and check that out, go to GoProposal.com. On there, just scroll to the bottom of the page and you'll find that report. Go and grab it. I'm sure you've downloaded stuff like this before and been mega disappointed in the past. I assure you this is high value stuff. I get straight to the point. There's no waffling on. It's just here you go. Take them, implement them, and start making your business more successful. Start freeing up your time. Start ending the chaos. Start taking control of your staff. Start taking control of your clients. Start taking control of your business and start living the life that you want to live and doing more of the things you love with the people that you love. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you've got some tremendous value from it. I hope you've got some great ideas, but more importantly, I hope you take massive action right now.